Week 5 is in the books, and this was a really special college football weekend. And the fireworks started on Friday with the controversial game at Coral Gables. Heavy battle in the ACC late in the fourth quarter had us on the edge of our seats. Colorado marched into Orlando and sent a statement to the rest of the Big 12. Plus, post Week 5 AP poll, and we don't got just Nino. We don't got just D now. It's gonna be a crazy show. Only on Overreaction Monday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, aka downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football, downtown Nino Brown. Also with us today is a guy that pulls a lot of strings behind the scenes, the one, the only, truly one-on-one, my guy D. Now, fellas, let's kick off this episode. What's up? What AP poll? I wanted to switch it up this episode. Give me two teams that aren't in the top 25 that you guys will put in your top 25, then tell me what teams you're replacing those two teams with. So let's get into it. I'm going to read off the top 25 to 1, and then we'll start with D now. UNLV at 25. At 24, we got Illinois. At 23, we got Indiana. At 22, we got Louisville. 21, we got Boise State. At 20, we got Kansas State. 19, Oklahoma. Great comeback by them. Number 18, Utah. They lost a tough one this week. Number 17, BYU. BYU almost Baylor tried to make a push at the end. They just couldn't quite get there. Iowa State. A lot of people starting to buy stock in Matt Campbell and Iowa State. At number 15, Dabo Sweeney. Okay, Dabo. Number 14, Notre Dame. Number 13, LSU. My guy Dino's been high on them for a long time. Number 12, Ole Miss. Them guys really pissed me off. Number 11, USC. Number 10, Michigan. Number 9, Mizzou. Number 8, Miami. Should they still be number 8? Number 7, Penn State. Number 6, Oregon. Number 5, Georgia. Number 4, Tennessee. Number 3, Ohio State. They look really good. Number 2, Texas. Number 1, Alabama. D now, like I said, we're going to start with you, brother.
All right. So I know you said 2. I actually got 3.
Okay. I love it.
So my first one is going to be Pitt, undefeated as of right now, 4-0. I would put them probably 24 or 25-ish. Second one, Rutgers. I'm loving what's happening over in Jersey. Like I said in our group chat this weekend, they got a quarterback that can complement the run game. So, again, 24-25. And then my third team, I'm going to go with Colorado. They went into Orlando and really just beat a really good UCF team, which I was kind of surprised by the margin there. And if I had to nitpick, it would probably be 25 for them, but I would hate to take UNLV off. So I would probably slide all 3 of these teams into 24. Yeah, no, I'm right there with
you. You don't want to go there with me. Yeah, I like the teams. I think it's 3 teams. Colorado for me. I'm 50-50. There's things that I like and things that I don't like. I still think Shador's 2-stepping the minute there's any pressure in that pocket. That's got to get fixed. But I mean, I like the 3 teams. I can't argue against.
I saw a glimpse of the run game this weekend, which was interesting.
Yes, Welsh looked pretty good.
Yeah, they're coming around. Let's say that. I'll give it that. Hey, you want my teams now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. I got 2. I could make a bid for 3, but I'll go with 2 for right now.
Is one of them you had a shirt on now?
No, this is my plug for them. 5-0. They finally got over the hump. Beat the rival. Cross-state rival. I mean, I think it's like might even be the same road, right? Are they on close to the same road? Both Duke and North
pretty
Carolina.
Close,
yeah, pretty close. So I know that was. We want to look at the types of teams they beat. That's a topic for a different discussion. You know what I mean? I would take Pitt over Duke if we were talking about undefeateds that got the snub. I'll give him that. Eli Holston is something that I think we're going to be talking about for the next couple seasons. Over there in Pitt. So I know you like Pat Narduzzi too as well. That's your guy. But I'm going to piss a lot of people off with these 2 teams. I'm going to go with James Madison. 4-0 with a new coach and a program that got stripped down like a Vegas hooker 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, like they got taken everything away from them and left bare ass for everybody to see. I mean, you're talking about a team that is straight dominating. 133 points combined in the last 2 games. 70 against UNC. You know what I mean? Now, outside of that, 50 against UNC. They haven't a lot of double-digit opponents to score in double digits besides the 50 against UNC. Again, it's there. But I'm just saying, that one game, 44 points per game, 12th in the country, 17 and a half points per game allowed on defense. It's 33rd in the country. When was the last time James Madison was ranked, in the top 40 on both sides of the ball, right? 70 total points allowed defensively. It's got them 24th. Imagine if they didn't put up the 50 burger to UNC, where they would be, right? They'd be guaranteed in the top 25. Talk about a potent offense, right? 455 yards per game, almost 200 points. It's 22nd in the country behind a redshirt sophomore that nobody knew about, and Alonzo Barnett, who's going to be on Debbie Down this week with me and D now. This kid's 65%, 1,000 yards, 12-1 touchdown ratio. He's a dual threat, makes Sports Center like plays. He's almost got 250 yards on the ground. I mean, he took the throwaways. Petaway with the throwaway, couldn't get time at UNC, and this dude's going off for 6.2 yards per carry and dominating both out of the backfield and receiving. Bob Chesney's spread style offense, he took a chance in that, and it's working, and everything is clicking. There's a lot of pieces that they took from here and there, and they put it all together. It's kind of like the Misfits. This team's cooking. Boise State in over James Madison. Like, who in God's green earth did Boise State beat? The schedule has been potatoes. I guess the last game was good, but prior to that, and they're allowing points, dude. Georgia Southern put up what, almost 40 against them. Like, come on. I get it. Austin Jetty's going crazy, and that's their Heisman favorite and Doak Walker favorite. You know what I mean? But 45 to Georgia Southern. Let's slow it down a little bit. I know you want January to be, the football face outside of Shedeur Sanders right now. But, just putting a team up there because of a one-trick pony, I'm not for it. Now, the other team, I'm not being a homer. I'm going to put some facts out there. Boston College. We're going to talk about the teams that are 3-1. How is Boston College not in the mix here? All right? They have one of the top defenses in the country, allowing them just under 16 points per game. That's better than BYU, Oregon, Louisville, Kansas State, Michigan, LSU, and Oklahoma. Okay? Slightly allowing over 100 yards per game on the ground. That's 27th in the country. That's better than Texas, LSU. Everybody's somewhat darling. I don't know why they're still in the top 25. Utah, Oregon, Alabama, and again, Oklahoma. You're going to see a trend. They're led by the top defensive end in the country in Donovan Ezerokbu. Yeah, that's right. The best edge in the country is out in Chestnut Hill. 8 sacks, leads the nation. 33 tackles, leads every DN in the country. 19 solo, leaves every DN in the country. Okay? This dude is cooking. Now, I get it, right? But they're 1-1 against top 10 teams. They lost by 6 points to Missouri on the road, right? They got a win over a Big Ten school in Michigan State. 176 yards on the ground with 9 touchdowns as a unit. They average 176 on the ground as a unit. Bro, BC deserves to be in there. And I'm going to say some names here. I think Notre Dame's a fraud. I don't understand. They beat Louisville. Okay, they squeaked out a victory against Louisville. Riley Leonard finally had a game where he looked like a quarterback, not a running back. Mm-hmm. Okay. Michigan and Oklahoma. The product I'm seeing, I'm sorry, bro. Like, we can go and look quickly at who these teams have played. I mean, Michigan beat Fresno State, lost to Texas, beat Arkansas State, right? They beat USC, okay, and they barely
beat Minnesota.
Minnesota almost beat them.
It was a controversial onside. Yep.
BC, I mean, at the time, beating number 10 Florida State, who is dog shit now. I get it. I understand. Lost by 6 to a top 6 team in the country, beat a Big Ten program in Michigan State. Oklahoma, you beat Temple, Houston, and Tulane. Okay? The scores doesn't say you got dog walked by Tennessee, right? And you said great comeback. to an unranked opponent who ain't that good, who can't figure out what quarterback they're going to play. Outside of the atmosphere, Jordan here, what's Auburn?
I don't know.
They benched the Gatorade Player of the Year for a true freshman, Michael Hawkins. Oklahoma's lost right now. I'm not saying Jackson Arnold should be the quarterback. I'm just saying that program is in whirlwinds. How are they still in the top 20? I don't even understand it. Like it doesn't. I think a lot of these rankings are for ratings for the future, and it ain't for the real deal Holyfield right now.
Yeah, we started to get that real around week 10, if you know what I mean.
All right, hey, before we move on, how do you guys feel about Army? I saw a lot of posts that Army should be in the top 25. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that.
They're blowing teams out. The run game is stupid. It's the best run game in the country, right? What is it? 400 yards of running offense or 387 a game? Like that's just stupid, right? They converted a wide receiver to running back and Noah Short. He's cooking. Obviously, Daly's in the Heisman talk, which I would never have ever in my mind thought about it, right? He's in the Heisman talk because he's crushing it on the ground as well. Yeah, they should be in the talk. They should be in the top. Like if they're not in the top 25, they should be in that 26 to 30 realm. Absolutely, and it should be getting votes. I mean, they're cooking. The services are cooking. You know what I mean?
Votes.
Yeah, it's that way. It's that wait and see mindset. Like they're waiting for them to get into that core American play, and they're banking on them losing some games. So that's 100% what it is. But if we go based upon surprise starts, teams that you did not expect to start off like that, yes, they certainly deserve a look to be in the top 25.
And another team that you might want to kind of reconsider. I get. Is Illinois real? Is Illinois real? That's my question. Yes, they beat a ranked Kansas team who I put in the same bucket as Florida State. They're in the same bucket as Florida State. When they were ranked, they should have been ranked. I said it before the season started. Kansas is. They want the names to be there. They're just the team's not. It's not right. So,
they beat a damn good Nebraska team, and
they beat Nebraska team. And then when the test came, they got shut down. Right. Penn State shut them down.
They had opportunities, bro. Like they had a key opportunity. They had a key opportunity right before half. They could have at the 2-yard line. They could at least kick the field goal, ran out the time, go into the halftime with a 10-7 lead, or even a 14-7 lead. Didn't execute there. What I saw against the Penn State game, either Illinois is going to shock a lot of teams this year, or Penn State is going to be losing some ball games this year. I wasn't impressed with either team on Saturday, to be honest with you. I am not impressed by Penn State at all.
I think this was Penn State's worst game of the season, and I think they kind of, in a screwed version of the way, they still kind of dominated the game. But they eliminated everything that was a factor on offense for Illinois. Fagan had 60 yards.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Did Pat Bryant play? I'm just asking because he was eliminated, bro. He had like 3 targets, not a single catch. Zakari Franklin. There was a catch he should have had. He dropped one. But Zakari Franklin is the shell of himself now. We all thought this dude was going to be, like a Torrey Horton at the next level, and he's the shell of himself. How long can that defense keep them in games? That's like we're starting to see Altmaier starting to come back down. I was about
to say he's improved. He's improved a lot because I hated look Altmaier watching him last year versus this year. I see the progression. He's actually making reads. which I didn't even think was
a possibility.
And I didn't think that could happen at all. But are they real? I think that's yet to be seen. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I was just unimpressed by both teams, or I don't know. Like I said,
I think his pocket awareness needs. So he took steps in reading and getting the ball out quicker. I will say that.
And he's been stepping up and scrambling when he needs to as well.
He was terrible in the pocket in this game.
He was.
Abdul Carter was a nightmare for him. Obviously, but it's Abdul Carter. I get it. But like I said, they said we're gonna take away your one weapon in Pat Bryant, and we're gonna see what you got.
Right.
They knew the run game wasn't gonna beat them. They have dogs. So many dogs. So we'll let you run the ball. We're going to play normal defense against the run because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to take Pat Bryant away, and we're going to see what you can do. And is it that ultimately it looks better? Yes, he's taking steps.
Mm-hmm.
He look better because Pat Bryant has emerged, right?
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's all.
Because when Pat's gone, or they double Pat, it seems like we're getting pedestrian Luke.
Right.
You know, it's like the dude from 90210, Luke in that movie with the bull. You got seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the clock is ticking on Ultimate in this one. So it's like, I just want to know if they're real. Like, they got to test. You know, 2 back-to-back tests. Let's see how they respond here. Down the gauntlet, because honestly, I mean, they could be out of the top 25. They
could quickly, but I think that game is probably more of a indication of where they are from a coaching standpoint than it is from the player personnel. I feel like their team showed up in some capacity, but like to mismanage a first and goal from the 2-yard line, you know, yes, some of that is on players, but some of that is on coaching as well.
Agreed.
But yeah, is there other teams with, like, when we're talking about merit based, are there other teams with better resumes as it pertains to merit? Absolutely. Yeah, you can argue a few teams that should be in the top 25 over them. For sure.
Good stuff, guys.
All right. So, gentlemen, we had a legendary game Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, and it appeared to be a rout. And if Alabama, in my opinion, plays that way that they played in that first half, it'll be tough for any team in the country to beat them. Georgia stormed back in the second half, making this an instant classic, but ultimately Bama won 41-34. Let's start with D now. What were your biggest takeaways from this game?
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Once it was 21-0, I kind of flipped the channel over to Illinois, Penn State until about maybe 5 minutes left in the game, and I saw it was 28-33. So not really sure what happened in between there, but the little bit I did see, the Milroe-Williams connection is probably the best in the country. I say it every time it's brought up in our chat. He's still only 17.
That's
blows
crazy.
my mind that he's doing that against grown men.
Right.
But yeah, I would have to agree. Alabama clicking on all cylinders like that. I'll be the first to admit I thought they were going to fall off a little bit after Saban. But it looks like they haven't missed a beat. And again, not to jump ship on what we're going to talk about in the future, but I think the SEC runs through Alabama again, unfortunately.
You know, I see you there. You're kind of hesitant. Talk to me.
Ryan Williams is better than Jeremiah Smith. I'll take him every Saturday and every Sunday. Ohio State is playing cupcakes, bro. This dude did it against Wisconsin, against Georgia's secondary, got smoked. Everybody, Malachi Sock, every single DB safety on that team should be taken out to the woodshed and slapped on a behind. They were terrible. Absolutely freaking terrible. The money you get, NIL, the draft stock that all you guys have, this is the dogs at Georgia. We will be, and we might need a reality check after this one. Look, I'll be the first one to eat shit. I'm eating it. I said Kalen DeBoer couldn't do it without his homeboy and grow up, and he is, okay? He's cooking. He fed Jalen Milroe the red pill in the Matrix. And boom. Okay? That is what he's doing to Jalen Milroe. Hey, guess what, folks? I hope you like seeing what you're seeing with him and Ryan Williams, because you're going to see him throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors for about the next 7 seasons in New York, because Jalen Milroe is a top 3 draft pick, and Jalen Milroe will be in New York for the Heisman. He will be in the top 3 votes, and it's not going to be 3. I'm sorry for you, because if Austin Jetty thinks he can hold Jalen Milroe's jockstrap, he's crazy. He cannot. Okay, you're doing it at Boise, bro. Come do it with the big fellas. Let's talk. All right, you're not Derrick Henry. All right, just gonna make it clear. I think the kid's great, but he's gonna be buried in Dallas when he gets drafted to the NFL, and then it's gonna be a whole different conversation we can talk about then. All right, listen, Ryan Williams is just unbelievable. Like I said, unequivocally, Jalen Milroe's a top 3 pick. Is Alabama now considered the Georgia Bulldogs killer? This is 3 L's, bro. They only got, 3 in 3 years? Who gave it to them? Alabama, bro. It didn't matter what coach. The Crimson Tide still just kill them.
I think I saw something like Kirby's like 88-12 in his career or something like that, and 6 of those are from Bama alone.
It's terrible.
That is a stat. That's a
They
great pull.
gotta
man.
be. They
Mhm.
gotta be the killers. I'm gonna tell you something right now. These programs need to figure out third down because they were both dog shit. I'm talking like 30% or less on third down. You can't win a title. You can't win when it comes down to crunch time like that. But Alabama, we talked about letting Georgia back in. 5 for 5 on fourth down made me throw up in my mouth. They had no answer for them. They were a one-trick pony. They couldn't even run the ball. That's not what's up with Georgia's run game. Ooh, they're supposed to be dogs on top of dogs. You know, maybe Trevor Etienne might want to, shut his mouth a little bit about the Florida program and just tighten up the laces and stop playing ball, bro. Maybe you were part of the problem and not part of the answer. You know what I'm saying? It seems as though you want to run your mouth, but you ain't putting up the stats. You ain't playing ball like you supposedly were held back by. The coaching at Florida wasn't as good. It's all shit he said, not me.
Yeah,
I'm just reiterating.
He said it 100%. We talked about it all season. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, right? Johnny Cash, walk that line, baby. And he can't. And he ain't doing it. The Bulldogs, one-trick pony. And that picture that we put, that Dino put in the group, that's all I see of Carson Beck now. It's like, oh, he put up 400 yards, bro. But it's struggle bus, bro. It's struggle bus. When you're the second leading rusher on your team, that you're not a dual threat back, that is a problem. Like, you're putting too much on this kid's lap. You're making him have to be the main reason why you win or lose games. And that can kill a quarterback. That can kill a quarterback psyche and put you down a rabbit hole that you don't really want to go down.
Haven't we seen this before with Mike Bobo, though?
12 rushing attempts for Trevor Etienne? 12? Like, I get it. They were out of the game early.
For sure.
But by middle of the third quarter, you could have started running the ball again.
Yeah,
there was definitely plenty of time to run the ball and keep creeping back in. It's like, bro, for the type of players, Malachi Starks, DeLon Everett, KJ Bolden, bro, everybody let up 75% or more pass completions. Every single person torched them. Ryan Williams was playing Circus Soleil with the freaking football, and you couldn't stop him. All right? Now, I get it. I made my comment about Jeremiah Smith. Who did they do it against? Who's he doing it against? Circuit City University is who he's doing it against. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Stonehill College is who he's doing it against, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't even doing it against the Montana Grizz, bro. He's doing it. You know, and he's got all the talent in the world. Let me see you do that stuff in the Big Ten, because Ryan Williams is doing it in the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And there ain't a kid over the age of 18 that can stop him. Nobody's been able to stop this kid. And he's just cracking the surface. You're about to witness Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson in the making, bro. Everybody thought it was going to be Josiah Trader or Cam Coleman or Jeremiah Smith. It's the kid who left and said, oh, I got a taste for about a month. The grass ain't greener on the other side. I'm coming back to Alabama, right? Because everything I'm hearing is Jalen Ball is supposed to be the man. Jalen Monroe looks like he can cook. So you put the ingredients in the chef, you get a great meal. You're getting a great meal, and Ryan Williams, they're putting out the top-notch meal on every dinner plate with Ryan Williams every week. It's just, Bama's back, bro. Bama's back. It's crazy that I would say that, because I said that they would lose 3 games this year. They wouldn't be in the realm of the playoff. And I said that he wouldn't make it past Nick's contract, Nick's last recruiting class. He keeps this up, bro. They're going to put him in the same box they put Nick.
Yeah, it's something that he's doing that's a winning recipe. And I said this earlier. There's also room for growth, I think, for not only the players at Alabama, room for growth for the coaches, because Nick Saban harped on a point like, hey, don't let up. This team is capable. Like, he almost foreshadowed the game, with 2020 vision, saying, hey, don't let up, don't ease up. And that's exactly what happened. But the resilience in almost having a major letdown, like, you see fans crying. Fans were crying when Georgia take the lead. And then the throw by Milroe, the play by Ryan Williams, which ultimately ended the game, it was just truly incredible. I want to stay in the SEC, but I want to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
And I know it's gonna probably it hurt Nino, but probably not as much as it hurt me and D now. Kentucky pulled off an epic upset on Saturday at the vault in Oxford, Mississippi, beating Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is the team I pegged to win it all. And they beat them 20-17. Nino, huge fans for your Wildcats. What was your biggest takeaways from Saturday's game?
Kentucky was able to withstand the first punch and score. They pulled a Floyd Mayweather.
Mhm.
Okay, they didn't know what Ole Miss was going to do, how they're going to act. They let them show the game plan. They came out and scored quickly, right?
Oh, really quickly, yeah.
But first drive was in less. I think it was less than 3 minutes. Boom, touchdown. Fine, great, cool. But Kentucky kept pounding. They kept playing defense. They kept attacking and attacking and attacking. They pretty much said, Trey Iris, go have a fucking day. Don't care. We're shutting everybody else on this team the fuck down.
Right.
Beat me. And then when Parrish went down, ching, we got you. And you could see it in their face. Like, there's nothing else you got. You're a one-trick pony. We're taking him away. And you got nothing to do because our defense is fast enough. Our defense can squeeze the edge. Our defense can come right up the gut. It didn't matter. They had the plan. Some of the things that really got to me. That score by Dane Key before the end of the half was a gut punch to Ole Miss. It should have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
You gave them life. They were struggling for oxygen. They couldn't score field goals, right? They were struggling. You gave them life, and then they got the ball back in the second half, which ultimately didn't really matter because they ended up punting on a 3-and-out.
Right.
But you still gave them the opportunity. The air was there. 4th and 7. In Kentucky's 41, 39, somewhere around there, with 4 minutes to go in the fourth, and you allow a 4th and 7 to go for 40-something yards to Barry and Brown, that's inexcusable. That's poor coaching. That's poor discipline. That's poor assignment. Like, everything there, which is freaking poor. Terrible. This next game against South Carolina means a shit ton, right? Because this is the start of the gauntlet for Ole Miss. They can't lose no more games. They have to win out. To me, but does Lane seem a little less focused than he did week 1? And what's that Gamecocks mean against Kentucky earlier in the year now?
Oh, it means a lot. It means an awful lot. And I talked about that earlier that, I watch your Gamecocks march into Kentucky and beat the crap out of them. I see Georgia struggle. I see Ole Miss struggle. And it's like, wow, welcome to the wonderful world of the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
The interior defensive line, Ole Miss couldn't do anything. They truly couldn't do anything. Like you said, it's right there. Go ahead and get your numbers, bro. But, other than that, it's crazy. Nino, did you add anything else to add before I move it to,
And I want to just, like, they did this being one-dimensional. They called Ole Miss's bluff on both sides of the fucking ball.
They did.
Like, this is what scares me. Is I thought Ole Miss was going to be in the finals. I thought they would be at least in the playoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They bluffed everybody. They hadn't got time where they got pushed around. There was no time, right, where they were like, okay, we're going to. Every other defense was scrambling to cover everybody. Are we going to cover Parrish? Are we going to cover Juice Wells? Are we going to cover Trey? They were all over the field. Kentucky said, I'm going to take this guy out of the game. Beat me. You can't. And once they smelt that they couldn't, that it was just that guy, the blood was in the water, they just kept attacking. The pocket kept getting smaller and smaller for Jackson Dart as the game went on, and he was getting extremely frustrated, right? Dude, Trey Harris fumbled on the 19-yard line of Kentucky? Yeah. Could have scored again. Like, he was having a day. Didn't matter. Kentucky was like, that's all you're going to get. We're going to run the ball for less than 3 freaking yards, right? We're going to eliminate your best receiver. We're going to go we'll throw the ball back and forth with you. We got 2. You got 1. Let's cook. Because Brown and Key both had days.
Right.
There was no running game. It was absolutely anemic. And they still beat him. Like I said, that defensive pressure, those defensive front 7 woke up that morning and chose violence. They ate nails and broken glass at 6 o'clock in the morning and said, I'm coming. And there ain't no way that this team at Ole Miss is going to dog wash. We just got tested. We've been tested, battle tested for 2 weeks in a row. They're not. These guys are soft. They saw him as a Pillsbury Doughboy. I truly feel like they walked in that game and were like, these Giants are nobody. It was David against Goliath. And David won.
Wow. D now, what were your takeaways from this game, and have you lost hope in Ole Miss?
Like Nino said, my initial takeaway is how good Kentucky's front seven is. I mean,
Right.
you got Weaver, you got Oxidine, you got Dumas Johnson, all had
Dog.
heydays. Like you said, the entire game, you just saw Ole Miss's pocket shrinking and shrinking and shrinking every single play. And then again, once Parrish went out, you kind of knew the writing was on the wall at that point. But again, you kind of saw this the week prior too against Georgia. They made Georgia's offense look pretty pedestrian as well. So, I mean, again, it comes back to what you guys said. Like, how good could South Carolina actually be considering they whooped the shit out of Kentucky earlier this year?
And
Dog walked them.
Should have won the LSU game as well. Which is,
It should, yeah, it was a play away from winning the LSU game. But have I lost hope in Ole Miss? I think, yeah, you kind of got to, because I mean, looking at their schedule, they got South Carolina, who you can't overlook, LSU, Oklahoma, if they can figure out the quarterback position, could be a challenge. Then they got Georgia a couple weeks after Oklahoma. I mean, they could have 2-3 more losses on the year before it's all said and done.
Hold on. Let me we go down the schedule and let's just talk. This game against South Carolina is huge. That's for all the money.
Oh, yeah.
That will tell us everything we need to know.
Absolutely. If this is a close game, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing. If they blow South Carolina, now we're all sitting there with the Rubik's Cube again going,
right.
What's going on? Like,
right.
You know, are we in the Matrix? Is this a simulation?
Right.
But, like, you look at their schedule outside of the South Carolina game, they're going to Death Valley. That's rough.
Loss.
It's a loss. But is Garrett Nussmeier and Brian Kelly on the same page? Because that man pulled his pants down, put him over his knee in the second quarter, and spanked him after that second interception. All right? I understand they got little nuts to agree to go to LSU as well. But you're seeing a little bit at the end of the second half of last game, and in this game, the inexperience of Garrett Nussmeier. Okay? Maybe I don't have, and maybe if he had an extra year, he wouldn't try to force into tighter windows. He could throw the tightrope throw. He can the mouse hole throw. But I feel like sometimes he's getting a little Aiden Childish. He gets a little bit overconfident and just tries to muster in there when he doesn't really have to. Take the 3 yards on the ground, dude, instead of trying to muster it in for 25 and then it's a pass breakup. So how Perkins is going, that defense is different, homie. It's different. Yeah. That's not a guaranteed out. 2 weeks ago, I would have told you, yeah, it's a totally different ball game. I'm on the, this is going to be, I don't know. Oklahoma, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I said it before. I don't know why they're in the top 25. I think it's just a name thing, right? Like, yes, they came back to beat Auburn. They're not ranked. They should have blown Auburn out. Like, you're ranked, bro. You should have blown doors off. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry, Boom. I know it's your team. I'm sorry. All right? And then you go and you look. Who's that? Arkansas?
Georgia? I don't know what to expect from Arkansas week to week, man.
Katy Perry, hot and cold.
100%.
One week, Taylor Green looks like he's Superman. Then the next week, it's like, oh, there's the Boise State Taylor Green.
Last
season. You know what I mean?
100%.
Is he a senior?
Junior. I think he's a junior. Yeah, he's a junior.
He should honestly consider a position change next season.
He progressed this year, so it's going to be hard. And then you got Georgia, who kind of, I think Georgia kind of like, it's not 99 anymore. They're not the 99 total. I think we're starting to see chinks in the armor a little bit. You're starting to see where you can, get the pit boss at the end. If you hit them a little bit underneath the rib cage and you get them here, they're beatable. You know what I mean? They look like they're defeatable now. It doesn't look like they're the powerhouse that they were 2 years ago, even just last year. So that game, I mean, and granted, if they're rolling and they're on a 4-game, win streak against, South Carolina and 2 ranked opponents in the top 20 going into Georgia, this is going to be just as big as the Alabama game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then it's Florida and Mississippi State. Like, I think Georgia's the only real test. Unless Parrish is out. And it's a whole different ball game. Because now what you're doing is everything you did in the offseason to make Jackson Dart cool as a cucumber and comfortable is out the window.
It changes. 100%.
They're kicking themselves in the ass that they let Kendrick Reesano hit the portal. Because look what he's doing in Arizona, right? Carl Conley is supposed to be this. He's the dude, right? He's healthy now. Reesano went off against Utah. 7 for 73 and a tutty. Like, he did it 2 weeks before that. So, like, they let guys, they're missing Quinshawn. Maybe you should just pay the man, right? Like, because you had a violent runner there. Parrish isn't a violent runner. He's more of that shifty pass catching back. Everybody there is that shifty pass catching back.
Everybody.
And they're not healthy.
Right.
The whole room who they had 5 or 6 guys. You park close to Jackson Thoughts, BMW, he gets a little bit sweat,
Yeah, a little uncomfortable.
So they got to figure it out. They got to get healthy, but I haven't lost faith.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm sticking with my guns. I'm sticking with them to win it all. But like I said, we come back here next Monday and we're talking about South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Did a number on them.
Hey, we come back next Monday. We're talking South Carolina. Did a number on them. We're talking about the SEC is pretty much a coin toss.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. You're talking about parity in a conference that I didn't think we would see that in.
Talking about off chalk.
Yes, and that was the verbiage you used heading into this season. Off chalk. Speaking of off chalk, for my money, a lot of people disagree with this, but for my money, it's my money. Big 12 has been the most exciting conference this year. Week to week, I have no clue what to expect. You couldn't tell me that BYU will be 4-0, 2-0 in the conference and on top of the conference standings. We've seen Utah beat Oklahoma State last week and then lost to Arizona this week. What the hell is going on with Cam Rising? Colorado looked pedestrian a few weeks ago against Nebraska. Then they went on a Hail Mary last week and it dominated a really good, in my opinion, UCF team this week. We'll start with D now. Who's winning the Big 12 this year? It's the $1 million question. Who's winning the Big 12?
No, I'm not going to say Colorado if that's what you're thinking. I think it honestly comes back to if Cam Rising can play. If he plays, I'm going to lean towards Utah. Otherwise, I'm going to go Iowa State. I think Rocco's really emerged as a passer. That defense is arguably one of the best in the country. And I like Abu Sama, their running back. And as much as it hurts me to say, I'm going to lean Iowa State to win in the Big 12.
Wow. What you thinking, bro?
Kalani Sitake, baby. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Bro, my guy, Retzlaff, was held out like dirty laundry and was told that the 77th year senior and Jerry Bonham was going to come in here and take this kid's job. Right? Sorry for you. Guess what? This kid is the leader of that team because that running back room has been up and down with injuries. You can't tell who's going to be in there. LJ Martin's going to play 1 or 2 games. Then he's out. Then it's the third stringer. Then it's this guy. There's no consistency, right? But yet the consistency on this team is Retzlaff and Daniels. Like, he's found his target in the wide receiver room. They are cooking. Defense is pretty good, right? Only allowing 15.8 points per game. Let me look at the schedule. Okay, let me just look. Got that big win over Kansas State.
That won't hurt my soul. Because that's
if they beat Arizona this week. If they beat Arizona this week,
look out.
They should go up a couple of spots, right?
Uh-huh.
The whole talk about Arizona top 25, we'll go to sleep. We won't have to talk about that no more, right? And then you're looking at Oklahoma State, who's kind of taking a step back, right?
Yeah.
UCF, I don't know. I'm not I think Utah is misranked, okay? And then it's Kansas, Arizona State, and they end the year in Houston. This Arizona game.
I'm about to say, how do you guys rank Arizona State this year? How do you guys look at Arizona State this year?
Not in the top 25.
For sure. But
maybe like 30 to 35.
Yeah, I feel like they're a little bit more respectable than,
definitely better than I thought they would.
Yeah. But heading into the preseason, I didn't know what to expect from them. But they got some pieces.
See now I like Iowa State as well.
Mhm.
Jalen Noel is an absolute stud wide receiver on that team. This kid just makes. You want to talk about sports center catches? He's been doing it. He did a little bit at the end of the season, got hot. Continued that this year. Like, Rocco's obviously good. That secondary is elite. Both of them safeties are dogs. But they haven't really been battle tested. And unfortunately, their battle tests come to the last 2 games of the season
last 2 games
against
yep.
Utah and Kansas State.
Right.
That's a rough way to be where you like you got a lot of youth in that offense, a lot of youth on that team and experience, and then you got to be battle tested probably for the run to either you're in the playoff, out of the playoff, like either when you're that's a little rough for me. I feel like the win that BYU already has, if they get this one over Arizona, bro, you can send it, gift wrap it to them. I honestly think that they're going to be the Big 12 representative. Colorado has a run, right? And it also has to go with this week. This week is big for the Big 12. They face Kansas State. I want to see if this defense is good enough. Okay? Yeah, they were good enough against a 285-pound KJ Jefferson. Okay? All right? It's like rolling out the Slimer out there. Okay? I want to see how you are against Avery Johnson, DJ Giddens, and the dude who's going to be the X factor, Dylan Edwards, who's pissed off that you didn't give him what he wanted, bro. Now he's coming back.
Going up. I'm telling you.
Speed, and speed between them 3 guys. I think Travis Hunter can't tackle the running back. Travis Hunter can't tackle Avery Johnson. He may be able to stop every receiver out there. Okay, he's that good, but he's not going to be getting 35 tackles and 27 run stops in this game. I think that front 7 for Colorado is going to be oxygen at the half. It's going to be a true test for them. I don't know if it's going to be a 35-40 game. I just think they're going to be running. I have a funny feeling Kansas State has time of possession. Like, they're going to control the ball, control the clock, wear them down, and that it's going to be a huge game for them. If they get by them, then they have Arizona right after that, and his next sneaky one after that is Cincinnati. Like, they're getting pressed with fast offenses 3 weeks in a row. If everything they're built on is that front 7 on defense, they said they got speed and they were able to attack it with 4 and 5 stars like Deion built it with, right? We're gonna have to see, because these 3 weeks are gonna be huge for them. Because I have a funny feeling that Cincinnati game could be like that letdown trap game.
Right. And then it's like back to reality. So Kansas State was my. Let me backtrack. Arizona was my initial pick, and then when I was working on my graphic for the college football playoff, it dawned on me that I really like Kansas State. It kind of happened overnight. So Kansas State was actually my preseason pick. So that BYU game was a huge letdown for me. It was in a raucous environment on the road, and then they got hands and feet placed upon it. It wasn't like a loss with dignity. I say no more victories a lot, but sometimes there are more victories in the sport. Right. But it was a old-fashioned ass kicking. That scares me, because it's like, you guys going to a raucous environment, is this going to happen again? So, but I'm gonna stick with Kansas State. I think they find a way to win the Big 12, but like I said, week to week, I just don't know.
It's going to depend on Avery Johnson if he can develop as a passer. He hasn't taken that jump that everyone hoped he would take.
No, he hasn't. Yeah, he still defaults to the run a little bit.
I want to drive my pick and my point home a little bit. They get Arizona and Oklahoma State in Moment Country. That's a whole different ball game.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to go to BYU. That crowd gets ruckus. They do have to travel to Utah, right? But they get Kansas at home, and they close out with Houston at home. A lot of home. I think it's 4 out of 6 games at home. They'll close it out. So it's like BYU, I think it's odd to say, is in the driver's seat in this one.
They really are. And it's kind of like how, prior to the season, I look at Rutgers' schedule. And it's like, hey, maybe this – it's an outside chance. You know what I'm saying? But maybe this team has a chance to do something.
33 points per
Yeah.
game. Would you think
Yeah.
when the season started that they would
No,
be
no,
in the top 50 offensively? Right? They're
no.
ranked 47th
Hell,
in the country in points per game.
no, not only no, but hell no, no.
And
Yeah, I just looked at the schedule and say, okay, they avoid the big five. You want to avoid Indiana. Can they keep it up? I know we talk Big Ten now, but can they keep it up?
Dude, the ground game.
schedule
It's the
like?
ground game for Indiana. What do they have? 20-something touchdowns on the ground?
That's crazy. That's astronomical. I did not know that. That's
I want
a
to
hell
say
of a
they have.
stat.
I got to check, but I'm almost.
I
They have
don't-
21 touchdowns on the ground. 21. Justice Ellison has 5. Tyson Lawton has 6. And Elijah Green has 4. So like the three main backs have 21 rushing touchdowns. I knew they were the tops in the nation.
Wow.
Stupid.
So, I think there's a chance that they could go 8-0 to start, but then they got to go to or they play Washington, then they got Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State. I mean, they end with Purdue. I mean, there's a chance they could even go 9-0 and be undefeated going into Michigan.
Mhm.
But
They can beat Michigan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I can see they can beat Michigan. I don't
And they
see
could
them
beat
beating Ohio.
Michigan 10-7, bro. Because that's the type of game it would be. It would
Right.
be
Yeah.
8-minute drives. You know what I'm saying? Just killing the clock.
Four
Run,
possessions,
run,
that's it for
dump
the
pass,
entire
game.
run.
You
If I had
talking
to
about-
pick right now, I'm taking Curtis Rock over Alex Orji every day.
Oh, for
100%.
sure.
100%.
For sure. I mean, you talking about
If
year
Ortiz is
one.
the starter,
They'll have to build a statue for Kirk Signetti in year one, bro.
I just-
If you
And
say
it's
you
at
do that.
home, bro. That Michigan
Yeah.
game's at home.
Yeah.
yeah.
After the little Brown Jug game, I do not have much faith in Michigan, other than the fact if Ohio State loses to them dudes this year, I just
Yo,
don't
Andy
know.
said it, and Andy does the big house, and he
Uh,
bleeds yellow and blue. Okay, maize and blue, whatever you want to call it. Right?
Yeah,
He said it's the worst 4-1 team in college football.
Yes, it's not Iowa.
that's a take.
And
That's what I would say.
I don't think he's wrong, bro. He goes, they had all year to figure it out at quarterback, and they went with a walk-on in Davis Warren, who was
Did they?
terrible,
Oh, that was bad.
and a dude who can't throw the ball.
At this point, play the freshman.
You're
Right.
Michigan. You couldn't have got somebody of higher stature?
Oh, they could have.
Well, that's
you
why
wanted to run a quarterback
Dave
who
Portnoy
can't
is
throw the
saying he's
ball?
going to throw.
You should have got Riley Leonard. Would have fit your system way better.
Yeah.
At least when it was necessary on 3rd and 15, he could have threw the ball to somebody. You
No,
know?
they could have got Tyler Shuck. Like they could have done anything better than their current situation. It is terrible, man. Fellas, it's been a really fun show. Anything y'all want to add?
No, I can't believe we're already in week 6.
Yeah, the college football
it's going
season
too
is always a blur, bro. Before you feel like it just started, but before you realize you're in the thick of things, and this is why we love it so much, man.
My Boston College Eagles, they're going down a rough stretch here. A lot of ACC play. Virginia, then Virginia Tech.
Yeah, on the 17th, I'll be at that game, the Virginia Tech game.
And then it's Louisville, then Syracuse. But those are at home. I get Louisville and Syracuse at home. Then they go to SMU. Then, UNC's at home. And
What do y'all make of SMU? Is
he hurt? Is Preston Stone hurt?
No.
No.
Then
No.
and somebody lied to that man.
Oh, I'm glad you said it 100%.
Somebody
Brett
fucking
Lashley
lied to that
is
kid.
Selfish. He is so selfish, bro. He didn't want neither one of those guys to leave the portal. I believe he liked Jennings for his system a lot better than he liked Preston Stone.
But he didn't
And
want to get
kept that
burnt
man-
by Preston Stone because he probably would have
Preston
stayed somewhere.
Stone could be in effing Michigan right now, bro.
Yep. Yeah, he lied. Somebody lied to that
He
kid.
might be
He
next
did.
year.
He did.
He's
It
gonna
was
have
a
to.
selfish.
He's
It was
gonna
a
have to come
selfish
back.
move by Rhett Lashley, and I like Rhett Lashley, but it was a very selfish move.
Yeah, I think SMU is doing okay in the ACC.
Mhm.
I think they got another year before they're
I agree.
maybe.
But what type of precedent are you setting? Because at some point, Preston Stone is going to tell his story. He's been a team guy now. He's going to tell his story once he leaves.
It wasn't Keelan Russell there. Didn't
was
Keelan Russell
before.
commit?
Mhm.
Yep.
Bro, I'm telling you something right now. Something went down with that NIL money that was funny. With everybody, with Stone, with
Mhm.
Jennings, they lost Russell and they lost a 4-star receiver right after that, right? And Russell said it had something to do with the NIL money because I think the NIL donator or something got bopped for something, and they some went down with some kind of
They
contributor.
are in the heart of Dallas for all the money that they have. Like, come on, bro.
Exactly.
But that was, if you go look, it's not hard to find. Type in Keelan Russell, NIL, and SMU. And there was an issue went down there. Something with NIL, and he bounced. But, like, I have a funny feeling that somebody lied to Stone, and there's a lot of funny business going on over there. Don't mess around, bro. You guys got the death penalty once. You still hear that gavel in the background. You know, they'll come get you. You know, so be careful over there. But hey, I don't know. SMU is just a game way. My other thing for you, I got another question for you. Are you all in on Louisville?
If you'd have asked me this 2 days ago, maybe, bro. Prior to 2 days ago, maybe.
Well, all right. Can we just, before we close out, let's just talk real quick. You know, I want to get your opinion too. Mm-hmm. They beat Austin Peay, Jacksonville State, right? And then they beat a Georgia Tech team that got literally squeezed through the grader for two straight weeks, right? Like squeezed through the grader. Mm-hmm. And then they lost to, I think, one of the worst teams in the top 25.
Agreed. I
think when it comes October 19th, and they got to play Miami, I think Miami's going to walk them around their home arena. It's getting to Louisville. Go walk them around and leave them in the center field.
So? Even after what you saw on Friday, you think so? Because Tyler Bowen and Virginia Tech ain't been able to do shit, and they was able to move the ball this weekend. I don't know.
I don't trust Louisville defense.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Cam.
I don't trust Louisville's secondary. I trust Louisville's front seven to put a little bit of pressure on Cam Ward to maybe.
I do like Riley.
That's fine, but hey, let Damon Martinez be an extra lineman like he was in the Virginia Tech game in the second half. That's all he was. He was a blocker, bro. Yeah. He was the better of the pass blockers. That's why Mark Fletcher Jr. sat on the bench riding the pine getting splinters, okay? Because he could pass block, and Damian Martinez could, all right? But unfortunately, Cam Ward is Cinderella, and when them fucking pumpkins come out, bro, that shit that's dangerous, bro. Dom goes from this to back in, and we got troubles. The vision ain't as good, and the throws aren't as quick and as deep.
Is that your favorites to win the ACC? Oh, we're here. We might as well talk about it.
You know my favorites, but come on, we're talking.
Oh, BC.
I'm sticking on BC train, bro. I stick to it. I believe in my team. Okay,
I like it. You believe in them from day one too.
There's multiple. If they run through Virginia,
BC's got a pretty favorable schedule.
I'm telling you right now, the only really tough game on the docket left, right? Outside of ending at Pitt, we'll see what Pitt's at then, right?
It depends on what Pitt's at. Yeah.
It's Louisville. And by the time they play Louisville, it's going to flip. BC will be in the top 25, and Louisville won't be.
Outside looking in. Wow. How you guys feel about Clemson? Miami.
It's going to be BC Clemson, baby. Let's go. BC Clemson, because I think Miami's going to throw up.
We're cool with. We should be able to go to the ACC championship, all of us.
Because I think Miami will throw up on their shoes in the big game.
I agree.
Crystal
ball.
Thank you. I want too much of it.
Right.
Too much of it in Eugene.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the big game Miami shits the bed at? Cal, Louisville, Florida State, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake, or Syracuse?
They play Cal next?
Yeah, at Cal.
That's the one.
I'm better
game day's there. Game day's there.
College game day's there.
College game day is at Cal for this game. Yeah.
Miami
I bet my money on Cal, bro. I put my money. Hey, crystal ball. I guarantee it. I put my money on Cal.
Hey, you want to hear another one? I'm going to say something so stupid, so freaking ludicrous that all you guys are going to pick up your jaws from the floor. They're going to beat Cal, and they're going to get – this is where it's going to happen because the season sucks for them so bad. This is going to be their game. They are going to get shit on by Florida State without DJU because apparently he broke his hand.
Hey, yo. Can you imagine the storylines, bro? Wow.
Hey, our season was shit, but we didn't leave them little bastards up the road. We ruined their season. That's all that matters, dude. And it's gonna do it with Luke Kromenok.
Wow.
So you over Brock Glenn.
He's terrible, bro. You saw what he was 2 games last year, bro.
He's listed as the or this week.
Yeah, I mean, me and you could be listed as the or it could be, the guy at Circuit City University that's at the door. He could be the or too. Hey, one thing about college football, two things. I don't trust injury reports. I don't trust depth charts.
At all.
Because the depth chart could say or for all 6 guys. They don't give a shit. Which guy we feel like we're going to play today?
ACC wise, I've still got to stick by my pick. I'm still going Miami, but I don't hate BC sneaking in there. Looking at their schedule,
me either.
Virginia Tech, Louisville, Syracuse, SMU, North Carolina, and then it all depends on Pitt.
Right, and where Pitt is at that moment. But if Tommy Castellanos is healthy, and this was only a precautionary game because it was a group of 5 team. Granted, that defense is fast. The Hilltop has got a fast defense, and they do well. That kid, Caden Velenkleff, bro, he is lights out in the short and intermediate game. It may not be a deep ball passer, but he will pick you apart.
Didn't they jump out to like a 14-3 or 14-0 lead, something like that?
They were up, they were up 14-3. We battled back.
I watched.
How did Grayson James look?
Grayson James looked like a guy who hadn't played in a little over a year. Okay,
that's fair.
But it also didn't help that they couldn't really get the ground game going early because they had their main linebacker was a converted safety from last year. The kid had speed, so he was constantly in the box. Like he would start out, and then right as it would be time to snap the ball, he would creep. So they were fast. They always had 6-7 in the box, 6-7 in the box. So the run game wasn't established, and then receivers weren't getting open. Obviously, they're kind of not used to the cadence and the timing with Grayson James. They've been with Tommy all season. And Grayson James was out 2 weeks prior with a shoulder injury. So he's really only been back for like 10 days. So a lot of factors in. But in that fourth quarter, he was nails. 2 touchdowns, 70 yards total, between the ground and the air. And didn't falter when it came time to win the game. That throw to Jared Bradley, I did not know they went to high school together. So when I read my
didn't know it either until you.
86 touchdowns. Yeah, 86 touchdowns he had to in his.
How's Teron Bradley been looking in Chestnut Hill?
This was his breakout game, homie.
Is his breakout game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In the fourth quarter, he was the main guy that was targeted.
Who's RB1 for you guys? Is it Robichaud or is it Trayshawn Ward? Or it's kind of 1A, 1B?
It's Ward right now.
Okay.
Robichaud is 2. Robichaud is not at 100% yet.
Okay.
But it's Ward. Ward gives you more of that dual threat. Like ain't a team in college football yet that's been able to stop him in the wheel route. I don't know why, but he just constantly wins it. He's great in the pass game. They tried to eliminate Ward second and third quarter when we needed to play. Ward came in, 25-yard catch down the right sideline. So it's just he's the guy. They've been kind of spreading it around. Bond's been the one, but Skeet's starting to emerge. Bradley had a big game this game, so it's like they're starting to get an identity. It sucks that they had to do a QB switch due to an injury.
Right.
But it was nice that they didn't really kind of skip a beat. You know what I mean? They were able to figure out their identity with Grayson James, who was more of a pocket passer and not, the cheat code in Tommy Castellanos. So, well, but Bill O'Brien is doing over there, bro. They're bought in. I'm telling you, bro. Like, nobody's talking about it yet. Give it about 3 more weeks when we get 3 more dubs. We're back in the top 25, probably in the top 20. Bill O'Brien's gonna be coach of the year candidate. He has to.
Wow, I like that.
Absolutely has to be. Turn the program around. Who was content with 6. Content with 6.
100%.
Okay, was content with playing not to lose games. Shit, if this man could score 70 a game, he would score 70 a game. Like, he wants them to be good at what they do. Doesn't matter who's on the opposite side of the ball. It doesn't matter if it's Georgia. It doesn't matter if it's Georgia State. It doesn't matter who it is. He wants them to be good at what they do, and he wants BC football to be dominant, and they're buying in.
Wow. Well, what
you should have never left Penn State.
No, but he got the NFL money, so he had to.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I understand why he did, but
what he did at Penn State is still not talked about enough. Dude, he took a program that was probably about to get buried for about a decade. With everything that went down, they brought in a stand-up dude, right? Who took a chance on? I mean, Christian Hackenberg was supposed to be, was he good? Was he bad? They weren't really sure, right? They had all the potential to be a stud, but he hadn't really done it. And he took top tight end in the country. And what's his name? Brenneman, who didn't do anything there and had to transfer over, right? Didn't he have to go to UMass?
Yeah, UMass after he blew out his knee.
Right, he got hurt, but he was the top tight end in the country. You know, but he was able to put pieces together when it was chaos, bro. You know
it was chaotic. It was extremely
organized chaos. Bill O'Brien was able to organize the chaos. I think they won 8 or 9 games.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, I don't think there was many coaches at that time that could have done what he did.
No. We've talked about that before. He did an incredible job while he's there. What a time to be alive, man.
That's what I said. Remember, I said what a time to be alive in BC because it's been a long time. My Patriots suck. They're gonna suck probably for another 6 to 10 years, right? But at least I got Boston College. At least I got something I can watch. It's absolutely great. I get recruits reaching out to me now.
That's amazing, bro.
Talking to recruits, talking to the guys. I want to shout out a guy, that was a former hometown player. He recently transferred to Salisbury School. Went to Durfee High School, Cooper Long. I went to school with his dad. Tight end DN, kid's killing it. He was at BC for the Fort Wells game. BC's in contact with them. I would like to see the kid stay local, but I mean, he went from Durfee High School, regular high school to Salisbury, Academy, who's a more established school, especially the football program.
Preparatory.
Yeah, prep school. Okay. So and he's been dominating on both sides of the ball. He's a two-way player. So let's give my guy Cooper Long a shout out.
I think about this, man. You guys make the playoff, opening round. You guys get a home game. You're for it. Like that would be incredible.
Stupid.
That would be incredible.
Stupid. Bro. Like, yo, ACC would probably get the G5 guy, right? I would assume. Oh no. Yeah, because we probably wouldn't be one of the top ranked
top 4s. So yeah, you'd probably be like right on 5 or 6.
Yeah, we'd probably play 11 or 12, right?
Yeah.
That would be
G5 winner.
Yeah.
Hey, break my heart. I make it be BC against UNLV. I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. I'd be the only game I go to in silence, bro. Crying inside. You know what I mean?
Right. Just pray for a good game, man. That's incredible, man. Can I confirm you two back next Monday?
Yeah, I'm down.
You down? Hey, let's do it. I enjoy these 3-person episodes. It's been fun, man. Definitely shout out to both Nino and D. Now they killed it per usual. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive in advance. That's why college football is the greatest regular season. Until next time, and until next Monday, of course. You all take care. One. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, aka Downtown Nino.